happening, guys? Silent Mike, Supertraining Gym, Mark Bell's Powercast, Reebok 1 checking in. Just giving you guys a 2-day example of what a weekend at Supertraining looks like. Typically, we lift one upper body, one lower body day during the week, and then one upper body day, one lower body day on the weekends in the mornings. I actually have the days reversed. This is a Sunday at Supertraining, which is kind of an upper body bench accessory type day. This is a day I do a little bit of lighter bench, get some volume in, and also build up all my weak points and accessories such as back and arms. Today I'm working in with Dan, I believe, my boy Bryce, and also Lauren there on the lift off. I hit a PR earlier in this week, 365 pounds for 3 reps. And then I did a ton of drop sets, 5 sets, 3 at 330 pounds, all paused. So today is just a day to move around. I got 275 pounds on the bar, and I did 3 to 5 sets of 5 was the goal, just depending on how my shoulder feels and how everything else feels. Bryce here is doing a similar thing. I believe he's doing a bench meet in March, so he's just revving up his volume and his weights again. He did a 4x5 or a 5x5 here at 275. You'll also see my boy Dan. Danny Boy has a meet in March and is really starting to push the volume and train some ways he's never trained before in his life. So I think he has 4 or 5 sets of 5 paused at 305 or 310 pounds. Basically, I believe he did a 5x5 twice this week, which is something he's probably never done in his life, more volume than he's ever done. Trying to put that strength on him, trying to put that muscle on him. Here's Dan's first working weight. Just trying to get him to tuck his shoulders. You think about shoulders back together and down towards your hips. That's going to put your sternum and shoulders in the best place to press from. Keep your shoulders safe. Also keep that sternum high. Allow you to press injury-free and also more efficiently. Easy work from Dan. Here's my next set of 5. Basically, I just want to show you guys that building strength in the gym day to day is not always hardcore. It's not always exciting. It's not always bashing your head against the wall. It's definitely not hitting PRs once you're a little bit more experienced. It's all about getting good quality work in over a long period of time, improving not only your lifts, but the volume and managing how you train will lead you the closest to success. I'm a big proponent of submaximal training. Although I just benched PR, I kind of set myself up for that PR. 365 pounds. Majority of my work is going to be anywhere from 250 pounds to probably 330 pounds, even though I may be benching anywhere from 380 to 400 pounds right now, or capable of it, should I say. Same thing with the squat. My next goal coming up here, hopefully in the early summer, is to squat 600 pounds. I squatted 589.7 pounds or some shit in my last meet. And my goal is to squat 600 pounds and pull a little bit closer to 700 pounds. I pulled 650. And the majority of my training for both those lifts are going to be anywhere from 375 pounds up to maybe low 500 pounds. Maybe the deadlift a little bit higher into the 550 range. Just because those are the weights you can manage. Those are the weights that you can perfect your technique. You can also move them quickly, recruit more muscle fibers, and just get more volume without getting so torn up. I ranted about this in a different video about leg day memes and all this stuff, just thrashing your body until you can't walk out of the gym. But that's not really optimal. That's not really smart. I'm not necessarily a big fan of the train smarter, not harder either. I want to train hard, but you have to put some thought into your training and not just go thrash yourself every single day if you plan to progress. If you like just thrashing yourself and you don't mind not hitting PRs, then by all means go ahead and do that. But the satisfaction for me is the improvement and getting better, getting stronger time after time, month after month, year after year. So here's a little bit of overhead. I'm really trying to bring up this overhead. I think it'll not only help my shoulders be a little bit healthier, but help that bench out. So I just did a bunch of sets of 6. It's a 50-pound bar. I added 10.5 on there. I don't even know what that weight is. It's about 170 or so for 3 to 4 sets of 6. I think Dan has a similar deal going on. And then Bryce, as you saw before, obviously he struggles with balancing. Not only is he missing a leg, but he's missing most of his calf in the other leg, and then his foot and nerves are jacked up in his good foot. So balancing is just nearly impossible for him. But where there's a will, there's a way, you know. So Bryce want to do overhead. He's sick of doing overhead dumbbells. He wanted to touch some heavier weight. So we just slid a chair in there for him, ran the mono for him, gave him a spot, and he banged out a PR, I think two, I think I caught it on here, 170 pounds for 1 or 2 was his PR that he hit today. This might be it. But yeah, guys, building strength, not testing strength, boring. I'm sorry if these videos are boring. I'm sorry I'm not listening to Metallica thrashing my head through a fucking metal canister or some shit like WWE. But I'm all about getting my work done, getting better, improving myself, and helping improve my teammates. In between my sets, I'm breathing, I'm drinking a little bit of water, and I'm making sure my teammates are performing to the best of their abilities, you know. Some of these guys are new, especially kind of Bryce and Dan. They're both in their early 20s, both very gifted athletes, both hardworking dudes, but they don't necessarily know that much about strength training. And I'm lucky enough that, you know, through a ton of research, reading, videos, stuff like that, plus being able to hang out with Mark every single day for the last 4 years, meeting people and picking brains like Chad Wesley Smith, Stan Efferding, and Ed Cohn along the way, that I've got to learn a ton, and I like to share that knowledge. And these are two kids I think that can easily be stronger than me. You know, my gift here is not strength. I'm not the strongest dude on the planet. I never will be. I work pretty hard and I have a decent amount of strength. But I think one of my gifts are communicating and coaching. So that's something I plan to do for a while and hopefully help these guys out along the way, even if it's boring for you viewers. But I'd like you guys to get a taste of how powerlifters truly train and what it takes mentally and physically to get to where you want to be. And in that case, it's not being so hardcore that you're thrashing yourself. In that case, it's going into the gym and just getting the amount of work done, even though it may be boring. 5 sets of 5 is not exciting. It's not fun using 275 pounds when I could clearly go up to maybe 315, 330, 340. But holding yourself back, holding yourself accountable, and getting the work done that needs to be done. As I said, this is our second bench day of the week. I add a little bit more accessories on this day. On the first day, it's more pressing, close grip, slingshot, stuff like that. On this second day, I do the overhead and then whatever accessories make me feel good. Sometimes it's just about leaving the gym feeling good so I can go into the next week feeling complete and recovered. So a little bit of biceps. I do a ton of face pulls. Those always make my back and shoulders feel good. Dan's flexing on me as I'm trying to do some fucking curls, build my pipes. My arms aren't very big. They're probably about 17 inches, which is not very big for a 220-pound dude. I'm on the way down, dieting very slightly. Hopefully going to find another meet like I mentioned in the early summers. I'll take you guys along the ride with me. More details to come when I actually figure out that meet. I'll lay out a plan for you guys in a video here and then show you my training as I peak for that meet. Basically in this off season here, I'm just going to get as much volume as I can, gain as much muscle as I can, and I'm just always working to push my 8 rep max, my 6 rep max, my 5 rep max. That's kind of my goal in the off season. Push those numbers so then when it's time to peak, you can push that 1 rep max. They all just kind of build upon each other. So I'll be hitting some sets without getting myself thrashed up. Here's a little tricep deal that Bryce put together, so I just hopped in. I did want to hit some kind of triceps. Bryce, I believe his father and mother were fitness competitors or bodybuilders, so he has all these old school little tricks and like 21s and stuff, so I hopped in. But we were basically doing a set of 10 or 12 on each arm, one armed with, I think we started with about 60 pounds. Then you double that weight, so we went to 120 or 130, and then smoked them out that way, 2 arms. So 3 rounds of that, just to get some blood into the joints, always feels good. Do you need big arms to bench press? Most big bench pressers have big arms. Do you need to do isolation exercises to get a big bench? Not necessarily. You can probably get a very big bench just benching a lot and some close grip. But in my opinion, all this stuff helps. The extra work does help. And honestly, it just feels good. Everybody likes to have a little bit of a pump. Everyone wants to be a bodybuilder, but no one wants to lift no heavy-ass weights. I want to be a bodybuilder and lift some mediocre-ass weights. I don't know what the hell's going on here. I'm trying to fucking build my triceps, and Dan and Bobby are doing some kind of circus act back there. Last set here, showing off the paleness to you guys. As I mentioned, baby 17-inch pistols, pale as a motherfucker. I got one more meet to lay out my year for you guys. I got one more meet I want to do probably before July or before June. Around June is kind of the goal, and from there I'll probably cut a little bit. I don't love doing cardio or the thought of it, but I like doing it when I'm doing it. I also like the feeling of being lean. I like the idea of being a little bit, oh my lord, talk about 20-inch guns. Everyone's talking shit on my little arms, and Lauren and Bryce here have huge arms. I like the idea of being lean. I like feeling lean. So my goals are to get back down probably below 200 pounds after I do this meet. I don't know what weight class I'll do this meet. Probably, I guess 198 or 220. I don't really care. I just want to get that 600 pound squat close to a 400 pound bench and pull a little bit closer to 700 pounds. Here's my main focus squat day. Right now, to lay out my week for you guys, I have a deadlift focus day, which is Tuesday, with squat accessories, some volume squats after that, and then more deadlift accessories, stiff leg, block pulls, back, stuff like that. Thursdays, bench focus. It's my heavier day out of the week. I bench a little bit more, as I mentioned, close grip, slingshot, etc. Then this is Saturday. Saturday is my squat primary day, where all the focus is on squats, no deadlifts, maybe some stiff leg after this, and then maybe some pause squats, high bar, something like that, depending on where I am in my training and how I feel. And then Sunday is the secondary bench day and accessories. As I mentioned, Dano's getting ready for a meet here in March. Today is just an easy kind of speed volume day for him. I believe he had 8 sets of 2 or so, nearing 500 pounds, maybe 480, 490. My goal was just to get 8 triples or maybe 6 triples at around 400 pounds. I love a rep scheme like that. There is no miracle rep scheme. There is no miracle program. But a rep scheme, something of 6 to 10 sets of 1 to 3 reps is something awesome to me. Somewhere between 65 and 80% is a great way to find your groove, to get your groove, to grease the groove, to get a lot of work in at a pretty decent weight, and also just focusing on triples, doubles, and singles allows you to perform them perfectly. So I'm a big fan of that. Dan's doing a really good job. Reset, go. That's a little quicker than I'd like. I'd like to make all my singles, doubles, and triples, all break them up into singles. So every single set, every single rep almost look like a 1 rep max. So you can practice that, because once you go to a powerlifting meet or test your max, all you have is that one breath, that one tightness. So I'm focused on getting as tight as I can. 415 pounds, depending on where I am in my training, obviously is very easy. I've probably done it for sets of 12 to 15. But if I'm a little thrashed, which I am now because of my training volume's a little high from deadlifts and accessory squats, I also did like a 5x5 the previous Tuesday, it feels heavier on your back. So it's all about focusing, getting as tight as you can, all the way from squeezing the bar to squeezing my traps, taking the biggest breath possible from my gut up. I like to fill up from basically my belly button below my belt all the way up as tight as I can. I'll make that weight feel a little bit lighter. Here's Smokey. I previously mentioned he's had a little bit of surgery kind of on his abdominal region, so he's still building back up. He's got 350 pounds on there. Smokey, I believe, squatted about 525 pounds in a meet at 181s. So here he is, just building up pause squats. Basically, I'm helping him with his program too, just in quote-unquote rehab, even though he's past the rehab stage. People ask us often how to rehab from such and such injury. If it's real rehab, go to a physical therapist. I'm not a doctor, but once they've cleared you, we can help you out a little bit. So Smokey's already been cleared, and all we're doing is he's squatting once a week, every Saturday. He started with about 275 pounds with 1 triple. He added 10 pounds from there until now he's about at 350 pounds. Once he got to 350 pounds, we added in a second set. So he did 2 sets of 5. From there, we're going to work our way up to 5 sets of 5, and then we're going to go back and add weight. It's that simple. Smokey's alternating every week pause squats and free squats, meaning just regular squats, and it's working out great for him. It's an easy way to get in volume. There's a million ways to progress. There's a million ways to periodize things. There's a million ways to progress week to week to week without thrashing yourself. Are these maximal weights for Smokey? No, but he's getting very strong. I believe one of the best squatters, in my opinion, Max Aida, maybe not the strongest squatter, but one of the best, squatted, I believe, 730 pounds at 220 pounds body weight. Told me he did an entire prep squatting under 500 pounds. 500 pounds or under, and then went to the platform and squatted 730 pounds. That just shows you guys there's ways to build volume, perfect your form, perfect your explosiveness, become more powerful with certain weights that will allow you to lift more. I squatted no heavier than 540 pounds in my last prep, and I ended up squatting 590 pounds. Just showing you guys a little example of what it is, weekend at Supertraining Gym. Follow me along as I go into my next meet and then eventually into my cut. Make sure to subscribe to that bitch, share that bitch, like that bitch. I appreciate all the support, guys. More training footage, vlogs, Q&As, and also cooking on the way. If you guys want me to cover anything, leave it in the comments below. Videos to come. Thanks, guys. Let's go! Up, 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 up! Yeah! Yeah! Oh yeah. Ahí va.